Hello again, everyone. This is Game Collector, and this week I have something very special, and this is for, the whole December holiday thing, along with that other holiday that is here, New Year's. And in a sense, I'm going through a few things. For one, you will notice, if you haven't already, a whole bunch, 4 figures at once, all of them quite similar, or, well, nothing really similar about them, but they all share a common theme, and they are all one character. They are all Soundwave. Now, this is my very first Soundwave, and as you can see by his arm falling off, he is in very bad condition. Very bad condition. Because I've had him for over 20 years, and growing up, he kind of got played with. What do you think happens to a toy when it gets played with a lot? You think it's going to survive? Let me lower the camera down a bit now. And then raise the lens up so you can see him. Yes, this is a G1 Soundwave. I got him, well, my mom got him for me at a church rummage sale. And he's seen better days, say 20 years ago, if not 21 years ago. This was just my very first Transformer ever, and without this toy, I would not be the person I am today at all. All because of a single Transformer from a church rummage sale. That really says something, doesn't it? And since then, I have kind of made it my thing to get any form of Soundwave, well, from the main line, not those stupid sublines like the stupid race car things or the other ones. And speaking of which, I almost left one out, and I'm glad I remembered about it. But in all seriousness, I try to make it my thing to get any form of Soundwave I can. Though there are some exceptions as to why, and he is not featured in this video because I got him for an accessory alone, which is sad. And since I really don't want to mess this figure up any more than he already is, I'm going to put him off to the side and start him off with the earliest of the figures in this line. Well, younger than him, but older than the rest of the ones featured here. And let me move the rest of them just so I can get this started. And it's Transformers Cybertron Soundwave. And he is a big alien jet bomber thing. Now, the things he came with were these and the cyber key thing. Now, since this is a character special, I'm not going to be doing any stats or bios for the individual toys. I'm covering the entire character history of sorts. This version of Soundwave also came from Planet X, as you may have heard about it from my previous review about Sideways. Came from Planet X along with Sideways, Planet Eaten by Unicron Invaders, blah 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 blah. Planet Go Boom. Then at the end or something, Japanese version, they find a new home planet, blah 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 blah, alternate universe, blah blah blah. Now, in this mode, he has one little gimmick involving the key, and spread those fins out a bit. Push that key in, and yeah, that thing falls out. A little hatch at the back opens up, and it drops a bomb. Now I'm going to put that bomb back in there and pull the key out, because that's also something important for his robot mode. Also, I hate transforming him into his jet mode. So that's why we didn't start out as a robot. So first of all, you're going to pull that hatch up along with the arm, what will be the arm. Separate the legs from the nose cone piece and straighten them out and actually make them look like feet. Spread those back fins out, lower that arm in the front, flip this over and pull this gray piece up. This little tab here will go into a hole right there. Not sure if you can see it, but it will. And then this goes down to keep him stable. Now you can finally straighten out the legs. The one complaint I had about this figure is that he doesn't stand up very well because he has really short, skinny legs, like twigs. Pull the nose cone arm up. And that's another complaint about this figure that I have, is the excessive amounts of kibble on the arms. This one can kind of get away with the kibble because you can use it like a shield. You can use it as an excuse. He has a defense shield or something, but this has no excuse whatsoever. It's a nose cone that folds up on the arm. What could that possibly be that's useful? Fold this down, those pegs right here. Peg in and lock the arms in place. And then last, you fold the head down and turn it around. And it looks like Soundwave. You know, a little bit off center with the camera though. It looks like Soundwave. He has purple light piping, which I will show you with the flashlight. Don't know how well you can see it, but purple glowy eyes. Gotta sit down. Now this little canister right here opens up like so into a triple-barreled gun, which you can put in his hand, on his wrist, or right up here, or on these little tips right here, which will be used for something else. And this thing, which turns, folds out that way. This turns into his handgun. This folds out, and this folds out, and this folds out, and this folds out. It's just a whole lot of folding. And the gun goes in there, and that shield thing folds out, and you have the attack shield and gun. And then you have his robot mode gimmick, and it's Soundwave. Soundwave pretty much has a universal gimmick, at least from G1 and a couple other ones. You can plug it into his back, and boom! The only complaint I have is that I wish they added like a button or something. So, you know, you plug the key in, then you can activate it instead of it just popping out all by itself. The button would have been far more useful. And now you have this little black and red canister. Who could that possibly be? Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Now you pull the key out and close the chest. And now you transform the little canister after getting it right side up. Spread these little findly bits. Well, I was facing the right way. And oh, look, they look like little wings. Then you fold it out, pull out the little legs, and oh my god, it's Laserbeak. They actually made him look more like a hawk, because he's supposed to be a condor. I suppose he looks a little bit like a condor, but in a sense he looks nothing like a condor. Stupid spindly legs. And fold the little feet up. Now, as I was saying before, you can put him up on one of those wingtip things. Like so. Hold the little wings down, make him look like he's perched. Or you can just have him on Soundwave's arm. Like so. And of course the kibble kind of gets in the way, because it's kibble arm. Why would it be something good? Ah, there you go. Much better. And there. You can't see Soundwave's head, but you can now. And this is Cybertron Soundwave, of course. Posability and such, but blah. This isn't like a normal review. This is more of... I don't know how to put it. I will be going back to normal reviews again, but, you know, I just want to cover this. Now, since this is like the oldest so far, second oldest, we'll move on to something a little bit newer. Came out right after Cybertron, which was the first movie. And right after the first movie came Transformers Animated. And Transformers Animated hailed this guy. Animated Soundwave, who's a scion, and he came with this, a guitar. And of course he got recolored into a black and red version later on, which I bought. Didn't like, but I bought it anyway for a guitar. Yep. Only reason I got him was for this. You'll see that later on. He's a Scion, XB or something. Don't know what it is. First feats. And because he's been sitting on a shelf somewhere in his vehicle mode for so long, his joints have gotten super tight, which is good. Super tight joints are always a good thing with toys. Well, not super feel like you're going to break it tight, but just super tight enough to where, you know, it doesn't feel like he's going to fall apart or wobble to death. Now, the original Soundwave was voiced by Frank Welker, the voice of Generation 1 Megatron, and the voice of Megatron in Transformers Prime. Yes, I know that. Now, the Soundwave from Cybertron, I don't remember his voice actor, nor am I going to look it up, because I've been having a really crappy week. But this Soundwave was voiced by Jeff Glenn Bennett, better known as the voice of Johnny Bravo. He also did the voice of Prowl in Animated and the voice of Animated Ultra Magnus, but I'm going off track here by talking about other characters. We're talking about Soundwave today, or rather for this holiday year start and special. And this Soundwave came with this awesome looking guitar here, which you can actually pose him, looking like he's playing it, which is pretty sweet. Yeah, you've heard of Guitar Hero, this is Guitar Villain! Yeah, I know, that was horrible. That was horrible. But it was kind of asking for it anyway, so he came with this and his recolor, despite the fact being just a useless recolor in a one-shot episode that didn't even really exist, because he was inside cyberspace, blah, blah, blah. You also got this guitar that doesn't actually fit. Let's try. No, it doesn't actually fit in this figure. Crap. Well, I can still try. Or not. Oh! It fits the other way, but it won't fit in the way with the head facing out. That's stupid. Now he has the guitar with the head on backwards. Which is still pretty awesome. And thank God it fell out. Now, because he's Soundwave, and because he has those instruments, you're probably wondering, wait, shouldn't he have, like, Laserbeak or something? You're right! Because he does! And it's not the guitar! Well, so much for, like, non-wobbly joints, because now he's wobbling everywhere. And the guitar turns into Laserbeak, which can mount right on his arm. And as for the guitar, just turn the head a little bit. And then split it. And boom! It's Ratbat! Yes, 2 characters from G1 who managed to also make it into animated. Ratbat is a little bit more temperamental when it comes to pegging into the arm. Or just pegging in, period. Yeah, he does not like... screw it. He doesn't get to peg in if he doesn't want to cooperate. But yeah, he came with Laserbeak, and the recolor came with Ratbat. So now he goes off to the side. And of course, because Transformers made by Michael Bay, directed by Michael Bay, produced by Michael Bay, Michael Bay, Michael Bay! Yeah, whoopty crap for him. We got this. When I found out about this, I was thrilled. Because, well, you saw that first toy, the very first toy I had on screen. I've had him for 20 years. Why wouldn't I want to get one that would appear in a movie? Little did I know that the movie was going to be complete crap, but the toy would still be awesome. That's the plus side about movies. Even if they're crap, sometimes the toys are way better than them. Now, this one had a gimmick, or still does have the gimmick, of being a triple changer. But I don't really call folding up 2 parts forward and folding 2 parts backward transforming. This is supposed to be a satellite. And now it's a jet. Did you really see anything really transform very hard, or did you just see like 3 or 4 parts move? This is not transforming. He did, however, have a better gimmick, which is in the form of a missile. Come on. Come on. Yeah, that. A Ravage missile, which he actually does do in the movie, except it comes out of this piece and not back here. Blah, blah, blah. But since we're already gotten these... Let's reposition this. And this. So we can get to actually transforming him into his robot mode. Now, in the movie, he was voiced by Frank Welker, again, as he was in G1. The only difference was, in the movie, he didn't get the voice synthesizer, so he had Dr. Claw voice. That's right. Soundwave is Dr. Claw, but with a voice synthesizer. Slapped right on there. Yup. He is Robot Dr. Claw. Sort of. And fold this in there. That would be down. Head goes forward. And these right, wait, fold these. Now you can do these like this, or you can do it just straight up, folding it up. I prefer folding it in that way. His shoulders have a little bit more clearance and have more to move around with. He's very short and stout, and you'll see him in comparison to the others. He's about the same size and width as animated Soundwave, but the animated one just seems to pull it off so much better than this guy does. And yeah, little missile fits on his back like a little antenna. He also doesn't have that signature window piece for the chest, which will be brought out again in the next figure as soon as I put this one down. And this last figure came out with the release of Transformers Generations. Transformers Generations being based on several continuities. The first wave being based on that video game that pretty much every fan deems as one of the best Transformers games we've played, at least next to Transformers Armada for the PS2, in my case. War for Cybertron, which is getting its sequel in 2012! Woo! Fall of Cybertron! And this is his incarnation from War for Cybertron. He's a van thing. SUV, truck, van, with jagged spikes on the front for impaling. They can be folded up or down. And this little front cavity opens up to let you pull his guns out. Which can be mounted on the sides. And there. Let's fold them jagged teeth into place. Now he's gonna run things over and impale them with spikes. And yeah, rolly wheels. Pull those off because robot mode. Yeah, you pretty much want to keep all those folded up. How does this work again? Ah, no, wait. Yeah. It's been a while, say the least. Wow, I really don't remember. Ah, right. Just the feet first. The feet fold out by themselves, and I completely forgot that. And then because they are spring-loaded, you have to fold them in manually and flip the heel back. And this down. You can make a fan-made stereo mode, but because it's not included in the instructions or something, and because I forgot how to do it, I'm not going to do it. Even though it is in there, you can look for it on YouTube or on other websites and things. And then these get folded in the back. And now there are a couple things you can do. You can leave them just folded like this, but if you use just enough force to turn them outward, you can get them in for a little bit more clearance. While the giant spikes do kind of protrude a bit, it does somehow work better this way. Or you fold them. I'm trying to remember how I got it to look really good with them folded out like that. Now there are a couple things you can do with the arms once he's out. And no, sadly, this Soundwave does not have any light piping because they've done this thing where they piped his head. Even on the movie one, who was going to have blue piping, they paint over it. The only one that I have that has light piping would be the Cybertron one and the recolor who has red light piping. Now you pull the hand out. Ow. Turn the fist, and in goes the gun. And the other gun goes on his shoulder. And this one also pulls off a very good G1 look. Despite the whole being the Cybertronian alt mode and all, which kind of does make sense being a truck and all. Twisty head, posability and such, but why should I go into that? I'm talking about this character as a whole, and speaking of this character as a whole, let's do some height comparison throughout the ages. You have War for Cybertron, Revenge of the Fallen, come on. Animated, which is just as short, stubby, and wide as the Revenge of the Fallen figure. We might as well put those two together and watch as War for Cybertron falls over. Tilt him back a little bit. Hold on while I raise the camera up, because we're going to add a couple more. Cybertron. And the toy that started everything that I do, and just had his arm fall off. Generation 1. Now, I do fully intend to get the Dark of the Moon Soundwave, just because it's Soundwave. I don't care the fact that it was part of a movie. I'm not going to go into that right now because I don't want to. But yes, this guy is... Soundwave is... He may be a Decepticon, but he's one of the most special characters to me. Without him, I would not be... I just can't say that enough. Without him, I would not be who I am today. Nor would I be doing this right now. So, if you like my videos, be thankful that you get to see this, because you're seeing why I got into this. That was my that one right there. That was the reason I got into Transformers and all of this. I have so many. This is more like a vlog than anything, than a review. I just showed off to you all the Soundwaves I own in one sitting. It's going to be probably over a half hour because, yeah. I suppose that's all the time I have more than enough time, but hey, you just got to experience something special. The reason why I'm doing this, the reason why I collect Transformers, and partially a reason why I'm a gamer. Only partially. You know, here's the thing. He got me into Transformers. Transformers got me into robots. Robots got me into Mega Man. Mega Man got me into gaming. And there you go. So in a sense, Soundwave is literally responsible for everything that I've become. Again, I said it. I cannot stress that enough. It's like a legacy in motion. So, I'd like to, with that, Happy New Year, and so on. Happy holidays, and Christmas, Hana, Kwanzaa, Isthmus. To all of you out there, too. Good luck, and I hope you have a Happy New Year as well again. Later.